So the game is simple. On count of 3, I will read a paragraph. Your job is simple. Just listen carefully and do not take notes. 3, 2, 1. In the book Make It Stick, scientists Peter Brown and Henry Rodiger conducted a study showing that students who used active retrieval scored a full letter grade higher, an A minus, instead of a C plus, compared to students who just reread their notes. Done. So I want to ask a question to everyone. So what are the author names which I mentioned? Anyone can mention that?
One of the authors' first name was Peter.
Okay, good. Can you recollect full name?
Peter Rodriguez or something like that.
Okay, that's a different author. Okay, anybody else?
Was someone Frederick or something like that?
Okay. So another question, the students who reread their notes, what is the grade they got?
E minus?
A minus.
Plus.
Yeah, C plus is correct. Okay. So, okay, when I'm asking you, try to recollect, because I think people, when I reading, so you are listening, right? So you feel like knowing everything. But when you are trying to recollect, did you find any difference when you are listening and when you are trying to recollect and answer it? I think it's, yeah. So when we read anything or listen anything, it feels like it feels familiar. But when you are actually using it, that's where we notice the difference. We feel harder. Don't worry, you're not forgetful. It's an illusion of competence. So we will explore the Make It Stick book to find out this gap and fill the gap. Now let's try one more active retrieval. So there are, in any Toastmaster meeting, we have 3 rules. I'm going to read 3 rules, but without completing the sentence. So you can just call out those missing words. Okay, the first rule. Kindly put your audio in dash.
Mute.
Mute.
A second rule. Turn your video and only switch off the video only when you are
Asked.
Away.
Yes. Perfect. During your speeches, please refrain from talking about dash.
Religion.
Religion, sex,
Religion and politics.
Good. So this is the active information retrieval practice. So according to science, so you are 40% more, there is a 40% more chance to follow these rules in any Toastmaster meeting. Okay. Now we will explore fully about the Make It Stick and how the scientific proven steps will help you to retain our learning durable. So let me read the mission of the Toastmaster Club. The mission of the Toastmaster is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So without waiting, let me introduce our presiding officer. He is very active and one of youngest in our club with 4 years of industry experience. He enjoys football, badminton, and has a passion for public speaking. He joined Toastmaster because he believes impactful communication is as important as great coding. and is excited to grow and learn alongside everyone in the club. So let us join all our hands together to invite presiding officer Toastmaster Ritvik. Toastmaster Ritvik, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mallikarjun, for this warm introduction. So, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests present. I'm Ritvik, your presiding officer for today. And welcome to meeting number 683 of IBC Titans Toastmaster Club. We at IBCT are committed to provide a supportive and positive learning environment where each member is empowered to develop communication and leadership skills. Now, before we begin, I have few questions to the Toastmasters existing members in this meeting. As you all know, Toastmaster International is a well-known non-profit educational organization. And I would like to ask you, how many active members do Toastmasters has as a global community? You can give me a rough figure.
200,000.
You are almost there, Sandeep.
250,000.
Okay.
Almost there. I'll consider it as correct. It's 260,000 active members, everyone. And including, any guesses on how many clubs we have worldwide?
More than 10,000.
Yes, it's more than 10,000. Okay, I'll consider this. So it's 13,800 clubs spanning across 140 countries. That's a huge number. Okay, so now I can see today we have few guests as well in the meeting joining us. And we are thrilled that you have joined us today. I would love to have a brief introduction about you. So when I call your name, please unmute yourself and give a brief introduction about who you are and what brings you today to a club. May I ask Dilbag Singh to please unmute and give a brief intro about yourself.
Hey, hi. Thank you, Ritvik. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Dilbag. I'm from Oracle Hyderabad Center. I've been receiving these invites, but today's topic caught my attention on learning, make it stick, and Mallikarjun gave a real good glimpse of that in the beginning. So I'm looking forward for this meeting. Coming to Toastmasters, I've been active part of Toastmasters International for long time. I acted as the president of Oracle Hyderabad Toastmasters Club as well during pre-COVID and just after that. Then work kept me occupied and I went away from Toastmasters, but glad to be back here attending this meeting.
Thank you, Dilbag. Glad to know that you are a ex-Toastmaster, and once a Toastmaster is always a Toastmaster.
Yes.
So we are good to have you here. Since you're from Hyderabad location, you can get in touch with Mallikarjun.
Wow. I've seen him around, I think.
Yeah, we already met.
Yeah.
That's great. And we are looking forward for you to join us again in future meetings as well.
Definitely.
May I now request Sinthinathan, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Senthil. I am working from Krishna Magnum, Bangalore. So I'm part of the customer support services team. I'm with Oracle 15 years. So now and then I have attended some of the Toastmaster sessions, but not continuously. Today's topic was very interesting, as Dilbag was saying. So even the active recalling, the one which Mallikarjun mentioned, it's a good one. So lot of things we read, but difficult to reproduce when needed, and we only return back what enough 5% or 10% of thing which we have read. It will be good enough to learn more techniques. So that's what the expectation from this session. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any questions so I can answer?
Yes. So you'll get the
Okay.
questions and topics during the table
Okay.
topics.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your introduction, Senthil. And yes, the topic is very interesting, and we do have interesting topics every week. So please stay tuned and join us every week for a session. And at last, Ankita, I would not ask your introduction because you already gave last time. I just wanted to say thank you for joining again as a guest. And in future, we would like to see you as a full-fledged member of our club.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for sharing your feedback, everyone. And we hope you will have an incredible time with us today. So, with this, I announce meeting number 683 to order. And now it's time for me to hand over the control of the meeting. The person will guide us through the rest of our meeting. Like to welcome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mallikarjun. Mallikarjun, over to you.
Thank you, Ritvik. Okay, let me share my personal experience first, why I found this book. Because during my conversations with friends or relatives, they talk about something, they try to explain everything like some dialogue in movie or some author name they read from the book. They're able to point to point and explain. But I heard that information in the past. I went through that, but I couldn't recollect that. Is it because of my lack of learning, or is it because of they are mentally more capable? So for that purpose, why I'm forgetting more? Why they are not? So I found this book. I want to find out whether any scientific techniques to retain our learning longer time, make our learning durable. So this book, Make It Stick, I found that I want to share my experience and learnings. And this is not about studying harder, but I'm sure you will get some one learning, durable learning system at the end of the meeting that will help you to make your learning last for longer time. That's the promise I. Let me share my slides. I hope my screen sharing is visible.
Yeah.
1 minute. Okay. Okay. So this is the authors are Peter Brown, Henry Rodiger, Mark A. McDonald. So yeah, why some practices fades and some practices stays. So I want you to remember whatever you learning maybe past 1 week or past 1 month or 2 days back. I want you to recollect that, and will are you able to explain or share that information even after a week or even after the source is closed? You can recollect. Just I will give 10 seconds to do that exercise internally. Okay. So when we are reading any page, any book, so we feel very familiar with that information. Oh, I know everything. But once the source is closed, when you want to recollect, we feel the difficulty. So that's because that's the existing things which we feel. So there is a difference between familiarity and learning. So familiarity feels like a recognition. Okay, the knowledge, I know everything. But learning is not. That is only you feel it is a learning when you are able to use it and recollect it when the source is away. Now, so let's try one experiment because I've already during my SSA meeting start I've done that experiment. So because I read some passage and closed it, because once there is no source of information, that source is not available, we feel difficulty to retrieve that information. Then during that time, our brain works harder to recollect that information. That's the That's the thing. It will make you learning last for longer. So you can try this experiment anytime. Read a page and close it and explain it in your own words. So the feeling of knowing is not same as being able to use it. So this is the gap between the familiarity and learning. Now I want you to ask, when you read this page and after close it, if you are not able to recollect, what are the strategies or steps you follow? Can anyone tell? Generally, what we do, suppose I read something, but now I am not able to recollect it. Then what will you do?
I'll look at the page again.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
What
so
else?
basically try to go back to the source.
Yes, that's correct. What else?
If we are able to take a screenshot or something, maybe do that or take a picture so that we have it with us.
Right. Okay. So, are these habits or steps easy or difficult?
Difficult sometimes. Maybe not have the book near us or
No. When you are trying to go back to the source, so what that step is, because mentioned, you are revisiting the page and highlighting the page, right?
Yeah, it's easy actually, Mallikarjun.
Yeah. Yes.
Rather
These are
than
easy steps.
rather than putting pressure on our mind to remember that thing, we usually take the shortcut and go back and
Yes.
to the source.
So we default to habits that make studying feel smooth. So we always go back to, okay, rereading feels very easy because I just go through again and try to find, okay, now I know it more compared to the first visit. Now we try to highlight the things which are important points in the page. Then cramming. Because suppose if you have not read through whole 1 year, what generally in our schools or college time, just before one day exam, we try to go through the whole textbook, try to remember everything. So we do cramming. So again, black practice. So if until it familiar, until it feels automatic, we try to solve the same problem again and again. So these are the few of the easy habits we follow to try to retain that learning. But these easy habits will not help you to make your learning last, because you are not putting effort on the mind when you are doing these easy steps. So what feels easy, those will not make the information retain for longer time. So it, even though you reread again, after few days, again you will forget that information. Even cram also. So just one day before, if you try to remember many question and answers, but after few days it will go away. So the, if you want to retain the longer, the whatever the learning longer, you need to put some effort. That will only stays the longer. So you need to give some time to make that learning, that information stored in the memory. Okay, so these are the easy steps. So because now I'm going to explore, I'm going to share the what are the scientific proven steps which will help you to make our learning last longer. So before proceeding that, let's go into our Toastmaster agenda. As we don't have prepared speeches, we just have the table topic segment. So to improve any Toastmaster communication, we have evaluation segment. So for evaluation, there is a team with tag roles, and that will be led by general evaluator. So let me introduce the general evaluator. She is extrovert, and she knows when to stop talking. So she's none other than Srilata Dinakar, Toastmaster Srilata Dinakar. Over to you to lead the evolution.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mallikarjun. I really like the energy of today's meeting. I love how it started off, and I like how Ritvik also continued. So I hope to match up to the energy that was started off with. As a GE, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting from the start till the end, to assess what could be done better and what was better in the current meeting. Also, to support my evaluation even further, we do have individual evaluators, but since we do not have prepared speeches, today we do not have any individual evaluators evaluating the prepared speeches. However, I do have a tag team with me, Timer, our counter, and the grammarian. So can we start off with Timer introducing his role, Toastmaster Sandeep?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a timer, I will time the table topics and the evaluations today. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, backgrounds of my screen, which denote specific times remaining. For table topics, green will be started at time 1 minute, and then yellow will be 1:30, and red will be starting at 2 minutes. And for the evaluations, green will be at 2, yellow will be at 2:30 minutes, and red will be at 3 minutes. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for the opportunity.
All right. Since we do not have any evaluations, so that will not be applicable to the meeting. It'll just be the table topics. And if possible, we could also time each member and their stage time / screen time. And please note the table topics. So you have time until 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The 30 seconds are the buffer. If you cross the 2 minute 30 second mark, that is when you will be disqualified. Otherwise, you're well within for the voting limits. And we have the counter, Toastmaster Hanumesh.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. As the hard counter, my role today is to listen carefully for unnecessary filler words and the sounds that distract from our communication. These words include you know, like, etc. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report. The purpose is to help us become more aware of our speaking habits and use pauses confidently instead of pillars. Yeah, back to you, Toastmaster Srilata.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hanumesh. We have Toastmaster Megha as the grammarian today.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen to the language usage, and I will take note of any misusage of English language as well as the outstanding usage. Today's word of the day is scaffold. I have put it in the chat. Scaffold means scaffolding is a temporary structure used to support workers and materials during the construction, maintenance, or repair of buildings and other structures. An example usage for scaffold will be the pathways learning program acts as a scaffold to help new members build their public speaking confidence step by step. Another example would be this code generation framework scaffolds a basic structure or a database support for a software application. Please try to use this in your speeches today. All the very best. And I would like to also put make you learn something new as part of the grammarian role today. And I would like to highlight some of the corporate syntax bugs which we do, the fossilized errors which we do in day-to-day activities. This happens because of the peer influence, because of the usage which we have learned till now from the school to college to corporate life, or a direct translation from our native language. So some of the bugs which we make in our day-to-day life, I would like to highlight those, and I want you to tell me what will be the correct usage if this is the wrong one. The first one is, this is nice, no. This is nice, no. The second one, you understand this, right? You understand this, right? This is very common. The second one, we always use at the end to make, to ensure it, we are sure, or we want the other person, are they getting the point which we are making? We use this word, right? You understand this, right? So what is the problem in these two sentences? Can anyone tell me?
So the first sentence is literally translating to Ningartha agate alva.
Yeah, the direct translation of the native language.
Yeah, the second one also is more like that. Alva, hauda, like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sahi hai na, hauda alva. Yes.
Ah,
We want to directly translate our native language into the English.
yes.
But if we want to correct this, how can we make this right? How can we form this sentence? This is nice. No. It's very, very simple. All the words are present in that sentence only. Simply
Isn't
we
it
have
nice?
modified it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't it
isn't it
nice?
nice? Is this, or we can ask, is this nice? As
Yeah.
simple as that. The second one, you understand this, right? You understand this, right? Right, for everything we'll do that.
Do you understand it?
Yeah, very simple. Do you understand this? Do you
I
understand
hope
this?
you understand.
Yeah, we can tell that also. I hope you understand. That also makes sense.
The right end of the word is to get the nod from other person so that he heard.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's become the most used word.
Yes,
That's
yes.
become our counter's
So,
job to remove that.
Yes,
yes.
but that is incorrect. The native speakers, or I mean, who doesn't have any other language as their native language apart from English, for them it sounds like very unique. Or what is this?
Yeah.
Why is he asking me that I have to tell him it is correct or not? For a simple question. Okay, the second one, this is also very interesting and very, very common. Only. Adding the word only. We are like that only. He was there only. I have been working on this project only. So only is here to make, to be sure, extra surety. We want to be very sure, to tell the other person, to make the other person feel that we are 100% sure about this. For that, we are adding this word only.
Yeah.
So how can we correct it? We are like that only. How can we correct this? Can anyone try?
Remove only. You just say we are like that.
Yeah, that, but it's little bit, it becomes little bit rude. If you want to be polite, or yeah, if you want to be polite or kind, then how can we put it? It is too direct. We are like that means it will be too direct on the face.
We have been that way.
This is
Yeah,
our
we have
nature.
been that way works.
This is our nature. I think.
Yes, very good. This is our nature. This is our culture.
Nature.
This is how we are. This is how we roll.
Hmm.
So these can be used. Yeah, we have to practice this. Otherwise, we don't get it, because we have been using these words all the time. So suddenly it won't come. So we have to be mindful and use the alternatives for this and practice. So he was there only, we can use he was right there.
Yeah.
Correct.
I have been working on this project only. For that, remove the only and tell itself. I have been working on this project itself.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And the third one, this one is also very, very common. Years back, 2 days back, 3 days back.
Ago. Years
2 days
ago.
ago.
Yes,
Ago.
ago.
Few minutes ago.
We
is
know
there.
that we know this. It's
We
very
know.
simple. We know this. It's there in our mind, but we don't use it. Because
Yeah.
again, it comes from the peers influence, or the corporate world influence itself. Years back, 2 days back, we have seen this in the emails, messages everywhere. the backward, so we use this years back,
I
today's
think this
back.
is carefully scaffolding into the theme because Mallikarjun said knowing is not different. I mean, knowing is different from learning. So I think this is a great example. So you scaffolded
Correct.
the grammarian's role into the theme. So
Right.
I want to ask one more question. So in Toastmasters, which English you follow, American or English? Because these are the language that we speak are mostly something called toasted English. I had a chapter in my school, like something called toasted English, because the Americans, shorten things, right? To have to speak faster, but the meaning is the same. So here in this forums, what is correct? What is considered appropriate?
So we usually go by the grammar. We
Yeah.
don't go by the Americans because they don't follow grammar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Everything they
Correct
want to
usage
follow
and the
everything.
grammar is what, yeah, is required.
so it's
Accent,
the actual English.
accent is not, the accent does not matter that much.
No, not
The
the accent.
another one,
Yeah, okay, go
which
ahead.
is very, very common. Can you tell me what is your good name?
Name
What
itself
does
should
this
be
mean?
good. What does that mean?
Yeah, if you ask a native speaker, what is your good name? What they will think? Can you just imagine? What will they think? Does it mean that they also have a bad name? So we have to tell good name, not the bad one. From where did
Well,
this
I think
come
this
from?
comes from the presumption that we already know that their name is good. So
Yeah, this
that's
is
where it comes
again,
from, but it doesn't translate well.
yes, direct translation effect. Shubnam. In Hindi we say Shubnam.
Mm.
So we can
Gen-
just tell what is your name or may I know your name. That's it. As simple as that. So one more thing. The next one is very, very common. Every day, every minute we use this. Please find attached. What is the problem here?
No time for anybody in corporate. So PFA.
Yeah, so PFA translates to please find attached. What is the problem here?
Noun is
We
missing.
have believed this so much that we don't really think there is a problem only.
Noun is missing here. Only verb is there. Please find attached. What is attached?
The
Yeah, so
sentence
where
is
we
Well,
not
have to
complete.
find it? So that means it is lost and somebody has to find it. Whoever this mail is intended to, they have to find it. The lost attachment has to be found. Does it mean like that? So this is being corrected. So I see people using this now instead of this. PFA instead of PFA, PSA. Please see attached.
Yeah. Please see attached. I have done, but PSA I have not written. Short form I have not done. But PFA I have used before. So, okay, maybe.
Yeah, please see attached is only better because people will not understand what is PSA. It's still not common. Okay, the last one I have for today is this. It's also very, very common.
The person was dead from college.
Yeah,
So I graduated, maybe.
it doesn't mean that like after. Yes, yes, absolutely. The correct version is I graduated from college. I completed my college. These
Even
can be used.
expired. When you say somebody passed away, you say expired. Like, how can they have expiry?
Okay, I will also send the corrected versions for these syntax bugs. Please practice it and please be mindful when you are using this, especially no only and please find attached. That's all I have today for the grammarian's role. All the best. Please use the word of the day, scaffold. Over to you, general evaluator of the day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mega. I think you did a great job. And since we actually do not have speakers, it's good that you chose this meeting to take up this time. to go ahead and introduce us to or remind us of the mistakes that we usually make and also give out the correct usages. Thank you for that. Now I will give the stage back to the TMOD and then I will come back at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srilata, for introducing the tag roles and explaining all the roles from the tag roles. Now we will enter into the fun segment of table topics. So to lead this, we have a Toastmaster Ritvik. Is also president and active and is engaging everyone in the meeting. So let me hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Ritvik to lead the table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritvik.
Thank you, Mallikarjun. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I have the privilege of being your table topic master. And for those who are new, especially the guest, table topic is a fun, fast-paced portion of a meeting where we get to practice impromptu speaking. So I'll be providing a series of topics and each speaker will have few minutes to speak upon it. So this is your chance to think on your feet, be creative, and most importantly, have fun. So since today's meeting, the theme of today's meeting is upon learning and remembering and memorizing. I have curated the table topics for you related to the theme. So let me know who would like to go ahead first and to get the first topic. Anybody would like to volunteer? If not, then I will be forced to pick one of you.
I think it's been a long time. I'll go ahead.
That's great, Sheila. I knew you will be the one to pick up the topic. Okay. So for you, the topic is, what is one thing you learned as a child that you still remember clearly today? What is the one thing you learned as a child that you still remember clearly till today?
Okay. So the one thing that I learned as a child that I still remember clearly is how to make a paper boat. I don't think anybody who's learned to make a paper boat or any craft that their parents or their friends that they thought that they were taught in the neighborhood can ever forget how to make the paper boat. Like you might not actively remember in front of you visually, but the moment you see a square sheet of paper or a rectangle or a pamphlet that came with the newspapers, the first thing that we would end up making is a paper boat. Raining or not doesn't matter, right? So I think in that way, art and craft is something that we all end up remembering. It's also because it's associated a lot with the memories that we made with regards to that particular thing, right? Because when it rained, we were taught to leave it in the puddles of water or just turn on the tap in the washroom, fill the bucket, leave your paper boats. Like, how else would you keep the kids engaged back then, right? We did not have uh, tablets or internet that actively. So the only source of entertainment was either go out and play or watch TV. So I think this is something so nostalgic and so endearing to even think that, okay, we had something like that. So, yeah, of course, there were a lot of things also that we were taught, like, that color, which color do you choose? I still remember how to do it when I see a paper. So, I think, yeah, it's also because of the memories associated with it and how often we made those things. So, yeah, that is something that I learned and I can't forget how to make a paper boat.
Thank you, Shailata. So these are the memories of childhood that I believe each one of us who are present here, they'll remember. There are some instances like you said, creating a paper boat, creating an airplane out of paper in classrooms. So these are the memories we will cherish. And yes, these memories of childhood will always be a scaffold for our memories throughout the lifetime. They'll be like a supporting material for our memories. Okay. Moving ahead, who would like to go next?
Go ahead. My name is Senthil.
Yes, Santil, for sure. Okay, I have a great topic for you. So, in this age of AI, is remembering information still important? In this age of AI, is remembering the information still important? You can give your views on this topic.
Yeah, so AI is relatively new, and everyone is exploring and taking advantage of all the features it is offering. I'm also new, and mostly some of the things which is we already know, it is with us all the time. We will be question best practices and uh, that kind of things. It's always good to get out of AI. If you keep reducing our the things which we need to remember and relying on this all the AI, so our self decision making and thinking about our thought process, it will be get will go down. So remember, for easy calculation, now I remember now when going out and giving some change for buying anything, we still nowadays it is very difficult to do all this calculation, and all people search for the calculator or at his phone to do a small math. And that we are waiting for 2 3 minutes. He is searching for that he put the calculator. So it's always we should have our own. Things keep remembering as well as use our brain to remember. And like the topic also, that was the one which is it was interesting me to recollect how to recollect and other things. As we get older, and now we need to be keep our brain active, else now the old age problems like Alzheimer and so many things can come. And if doctors are suggesting to practice some science or do some sudoku, and so those kind of things which is walk backward like that. To you have to induce your neurons to keep be active. So that is it directly related to the our longevity of the life. So just living alone with physically fit, that will not alone sufficient to live longer with happily. So we have to take care of both mind as well as physical. That is very important. I think it's fine, right? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Santil. Very well spoken. I agree with each and every word you have spoken. So, yes, you are correct. And we can already see, like in this AI era, how things are going. Even if you are a developer, you are an engineer, you are a creator, everyone is now more relied upon AI. So, as Mallikarjun presented in his presentation earlier, that we usually go the easy way, the simple way, where we feel comfortable, and we don't want to use our mind. And that's where we are going. But in long term, I believe that that's not good for us. Okay, so we'll move to the next table topic speaker. Ankita, would you like to try?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Okay, for you, I have a really good topic. So if you could teach just one lesson to the next generation, what would it be? If you could teach just one lesson to the next generation, what would it be?
Okay, so if I could teach just one lesson to the next generation, it would be to how to use the resources efficiently and not wastage. So my main intention was to teach them not to waste and any resources, because we have fewer resources left in this earth, and I think we have been using the resources over and over again, which has led to so many uh, like hazards now, pollution, and everywhere we are suffering actually, and there is very less left for our future generation. So I think we should consider using the resources wisely ourselves, as well as we should be teaching them to use all of the resources which are available very wisely. Yeah, that would be it. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Arpita. Thanks, Ankita. You were to the point exact, and I think that is the need of our, because utilizing the resources and especially the precious resources we have like air, water, and whatnot, we need to preserve, and somehow we need to be more, uh, we need to save more and use them judiciously. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Do
thank
we
you.
have timer, Sandeep, for one
Yes,
more
we have 7 minutes, yes, for the meeting. Yeah.
7 minutes? Okay, then we can have a couple of more table topics. Okay, Hanumesh, would you like to try the next topic?
Yeah, sure.
So the topic for you is, who is the best teacher you ever had? What made their teaching memorable? Who is the best teacher you ever had, and what made their teaching memorable?
Who is the best teacher I never had, and what made the teaching memorable?
Correct.
Yeah, I can remember I had a teacher when I was in primary school. So that teacher never used to see the book, and she was always, playful. She was teaching everything like um, making the children play, and through that play, she used to teach. So I remember that teacher was the best teacher. What made me to remember was that, so we were not like nervous to go to her with our problems, or whenever we have difficulty in understanding. So I think that's why the way she used to teach um, was memorable. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you, Anumesh. Exactly. A good teacher is the one who is very reachable. You can reach out to
Yeah.
them easily for any doubts or anything. And the way of their teaching, and it should be more, practical based teaching rather than a textbook teaching. So that makes you, that makes you interactive. You can interact with whatever knowledge she is delivering, and it's easy to grasp. Okay,
Yeah.
so next topic, we'll would like to give it to the grammarian of today, Megha. Megha, are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, Ritvik.
Topic for you. The topic for you is forgetting always a bad thing? Is forgetting always a bad thing?
I would like to ask everyone, how often do you forget? Do you forget your date? Do you forget anything from your work? Do you forget anything which your family members have told? And after that, what is the feeling you get? It depends on that. If you have forgotten something very important about your family member, and if it becomes a biggest catastrophic event for that day, then forgetting is not good. And have you ever questioned, why do you forget? What is the problem? Why I keep forgetting things? That answers a lot of question. Often forgetting comes from lot of stress, brain fog, and then absent mindset which we have. We will not be present in the moment where we are. So during that times when somebody tells something, somebody hands over us a task, we forget it. And then when we have been asked to present the report, we fumble and then we tell, you have not told this. So that is the problem of forgetfulness. So I feel we should not be forgetting things, and we should be utilizing our mind and senses to as much as possible to the utmost extent. So that comes only if you follow a very strict routine of doing physical activity and giving your mind break from all the thoughts and from all the work it is doing. For example, doing meditation and breath work, then you will never forget things. You will remember each and everything what have been told to you. And without the help of AI, without the help of reminders, you can even get up from the sleep without an alarm. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Megha. I believe whatever solutions you have proposed, they are the answers to the issues which Sentinel raised in his table topic. So, okay, we'll take one more table topic, and I think our timer
I think we
can.
can close now because we are almost.
We're almost okay.
Yeah.
Sure, no worries. Then great. Okay. Thank you all for participating in the table topics, and I'll now give the control back to the team out of today, Mallikarjun. Over to you.
Let's claps to the table topic master because it's a yeah topics are very wonderful, and this table tag topics will act as a scalpel to me to help explain the scientific proven steps easily to all audience. So let's go back to the theme, and we read we found that what are the easy habits we follow when we forget or we are not able to recollect. So what are the steps now? Okay, let me ask, are these habits are really not useful?
They are useful at times.
Yes, but these habits do not help to retain the learning. But these are helpful because rereading will help you to notice the missing things during the first time. And highlighting helps to any important points you can highlight so that you will remember more compared to other items. The cramming just before the exam will help little bit, and the black practice because you want to become perfect on that practice. But these are temporary and does not help for durable learning. Now, most of the time we try to consume the information and feel like we know everything. I think you are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I think during the table topics, Srilata mentioned she is able to recollect the paper boards. I want to ask a question because uh, did you just do once and you are able to recollect now, or you are able to do it now, or you have done multiple times in the childhood?
Multiple times.
Yes, that's the retrieval practice we are going to learn. Now, the first technique is the retrieval practice. This is scientific proven technique because we always consume, but don't use it. When you are not using, the brain tells that the whatever you read, okay, this information is not using. Like if the analogy, if you compare the temporary storage, permanent storage, right? So if you just read it and leave it, then it's a temporary storage. The mind will put it in, and after few days, if you don't use it, then it will be lost, it fades away. But if you try to recollect that information, you are asking mind, you are putting more effort, because when you recollect, there is a heavy mental high lifting happens in the mind. Okay, then that proves to the mind that okay, this information is highly available, highly valuable. So that instead of it upgrades that information from temporary recognition to permanent recall. So that's a scientific, because that's what this experiment will help you to, because in the starting of the meeting, I read the one paragraph, right? Are you still able to recollect that information? Can anyone tell now? So what are the author names of the book? Make it stick.
Peter.
Right. So this, once you recollect, right, that information will go into, it will deepen the memory roots, so that it is more chances of retaining, and when you want to retrieve again, you will be able to easily retrieve that information. But if you don't recollect, just read that information and do not use that information, then there is a more chances of forgetting. This is the first technique for retrieval practice. So whatever the idea or whatever the example, whatever the method, you can study, and better to explain or use it somewhere by closing the source, so that it will go into the permanent recall. So there is a mental effort happens, and it will store it in the permanent storage. And the second technique is spaced practice. Okay, the retrieval practice helps to how to practice. It tells us that. That spaced practice tells us that when to come back. See, when I read today something, I can recollect easily tonight or tomorrow, because the memory is still in warm. We are able to recollect easily. But after a week, are you able to recollect or reuse? Because when you don't use for certain time, the forgetting happens. The forgetting takes place over the period. If you never use it, it gets fade away completely. But when you revisit that, when it is about to forget, when you are about to forget, then there is a lot of mental effort takes place, that will that will give the signal mind that okay, this information is uh, and it needed across the time, not just for temporary. So that information needed across time, and it will lock that information into the long term storage. Now in the picture, because we are, so when you revisit in multiple encounters, so because we are revisiting in multiple times, so each revisit is not a fresh start, because one I read once, because it's a fresh start. When you read second time, it's not a fresh, because you are deepening the roots in the memory, because after some forgetting, you are trying to recollect and rebuild the memory. Then that will store it in the long term storage. Now again after few days, because once you visit after a month, you try to recollect, then you will do the more effort on the mind to recollect that information. So the more the effort, the more chances of retaining that information, and it will go in the deep in the memory. These are the techniques. But whatever the practice, if you remember, because in the schools or colleges, during our time, we thought why the school management they do multiple tests, because even if for kids, right, they have some periodic assessment every month, and there is a quarterly exam, half yearly exam, annual exam. So we felt that time, why these many exams is it required? Because this is the scientific proven strategy. When you don't when you don't repeat or revisit that, there is a chance of forgetting. Now the people, because in the July the school starts, they read the first chapter. If you don't revisit the chapter in the annual exam, if there are no tests or exams in between, there is you cannot recollect that information easily. If you read just before the exam, there is more chances is very it's difficult to recollect that information. That's why they do the periodic assessments. So you will repeatedly visit that information periodically, so that that information retains longer in the memory, and it helps for the final exams. If you have any questions, let me know, but I hope you are able to get the point. So the retrieval practice is how to do that. It tells us that the spaced practice tells us when to revisit, because it depends on the material and your goal. Because some materials you may need to revisit 1 or 2 days, but some material you need to revisit after a week or a month. Uh, it 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 completely depends on the information you're learning and the goal you want. So these days are not magical numbers. So just I have given for example. So whatever it works for you, you can try that. So the longer the gap, the more effort will take place on the brain, and there is a more chance to retain that information. Now let's go to third technique. So sometimes we feel that, okay, if I practice the same problem, uh, then I will be perfect and I remember everything. That's the conception, because but that helps, but it will feel like automatic. You are not putting effort. If you just practice one problem multiple times without encountering different skills or different problem type, it's like you're not adding more effort to the mind. It becomes automatic. The mind will go in autopilot mode. So it's better to always mix the topics or mix the problem types. It could be not just subjects, so you can have different skills like anything, sports or any cultural activities. You can mix the learning, whatever the skills you want to learn, you can mix between the different types, so that will help you to the mind will help you to understand, okay, this is a different problem, and the different strategy need to be applied for that problem before acting on that problem. Now so we understood the retrieval practice and the spaced practice, then interleave, then generate. See, all we learned by using techniques, we learn everything. But until and unless you generate or apply or use it, it will not again that gets fade away. So you have to the generate is another technique where, because in the example impromptu speaking, when the table topic master gives any question, because you don't know the answer, you're trying to generate an answer upfront without having any source. So that, because it's fine, because whatever the it connects to the existing knowledge of yours and tries to build the new knowledge. It may be wrong, it just predicts it. It may not be correct to the actual problem or actual question, but it will help you. It would There is a knowledge gap gets created after checking the source. So when you finally see the correct solution, right, it plays that it's the mind snaps into the place perfectly, because your mind was actively looking for that answer. Suppose any problem you solve, if you just see the answer and try to solve it, you will not put more effort. But if you try to solve the problem without checking any answer, you will try to search your whole mind to find that answer. If there is no answer in your mind, there is empty space gets created, and when you go back to the source and check the answer, that answer gets perfectly fit into the space in the mind, and it will retain for longer. So it's always preferred to solve the problem before seeing the answer. Now, these are the 4 techniques. So, do you want to apply any of these skills in your regular day-to-day learning? Which is which practice you want to go in under pressure situations? Anybody?
Retrieval.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think all the three of them, because all the three of them applies to different scenario. Retrieval helps when we have certain information which we want to remember. And then attempt and answer before seeing the answer helps when there is some question, and then maybe it's not actually related to some information, but some logical thinking or something in that front where we have to think and then answer. So maybe then attempt and answer before seeing the answer would help. And the practice until feels automatic will be helpful when we want to accommodate certain thing into our behavior, like the topic for the table sorry, word for the day was scaffold, right? So we want to use the word, and we want to keep repeatedly using the word until it finally comes automatically while we are speaking. So that way this practice will help us. So I think three of them together.
Good. Actually, it's not one skill, individual skills or isolated skills, techniques to practice. It's a complete, all the techniques together builds a loop, which this practice helps you to retain, make the learning durable. So, for any learning, if you want to make it durable or last for longer time, so you have to apply in a loop. First, retrieve whatever you read. Try to retrieve whatever, how much ever you are able to recollect without seeing the script. This is example I have given for just to fit into our Toastmasters audience. So when you want to prepare a speech, so just attempt the speech from your memory, whatever you have in the first attempt. Then only can find there is a difference. What is the actual script and what you delivered? Once you find the difference, then you understand, okay, this I am able to recollect this only. But you don't need to rehearse immediately because it's the memory is still warm. It doesn't help you really if you want to remember that for longer time. Now you need to give space, means you need to give some time to let the some forgetting happen. So maybe 1 or 2 days, give the break, then rehearse again without seeing the source. Then you are able to recollect more because you will put more effort to recollect, because there are 2 days 3 days time happened, some forgetting happened. Then when you do more effort and recollect, it rebuilds the memory, and you are able to retain whatever you read in the few days earlier. Now apply. So also, instead of even there is a mix technique also, the interleave technique. So generally we do opening, body, and the conclusion, the transitions and conclusions, right? So you can mix the practice differently. Maybe you can start with the body itself and conclusion, or you can directly try the transitions and conclusion, then last is opening, because you don't want to depend on the sequence which you are going to deliver. That will then if you miss the flow, then you try, it will be very big, difficult during the delivery. So if you can mix that and practice and rehearse, then that will help you to retain the speech and able to deliver effectively. So the final thing is, so because many learning advisors they tell for comfort, today's comfort. because you can be just go for anyone, okay, just reread, or we can highlight and put some markers on the page to go revisit back, and all those are for today's comfort. But this book techniques offer tomorrow's performance. If you want to remember, so retrieval practice is the one. So try to recollect, close the source and try to recollect. If you want to retain, spacing is the technique. So just make some forgetting happen before trying to recollect or retrieve that information. So adapt. So in different situations, our mind, because all problems are different. So based on the problem, we need to adapt which strategy. We should not be go into autopilot mode. So if you mix the problem types of skills during practice, that will help you to adapt the different strategy for different problem. Then finally use all these techniques to generate the answer without seeing the source, and turn the knowledge into the judgment. Now whatever you learn, just test it yourself. Are you able to use it or explain it after a week or after a month? That's the thing you, that will make you to, okay, I am able to, is my learning durable or not? So one small experiment you can try. So instead of rereading whatever thing, if you want to learn, if you forget, just try retrieval first before going to reread or revisit. Then space it, mix it, and use it. So what you are asking brain to do after source is closed, that will make you the learning durable, and it will last for longer. This is about make it stick book. If you really want, because the authors tried different experiment on school students, college students, and come up with these techniques. So if you want to really go into deep, I would recommend to read the make it stick book. And that's it about the theme for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know before moving into other segment.
And I have two questions actually. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So one question is, see, from the student point of view or anybody, we have limited time and a lot to read. So suppose the 10 lessons are there, and the student or another person will be running around to finish that portion. So they will have very less time to invest time on this reread, and that is how to handle that situation. That is one question. Another question is when we try to recollect or read one, and more sometimes we will, or most of the time, we will not be able to succeed, or this one it will make more depressing. So how to handle that? So the two question I have.
Okay, I think, yeah, that's why the fine academic year. So it's not about, so the whole academic year is there. The 10 months of time to study, understand, learn. So because yeah, some students do not use that time effectively, and they will go, even we have done for some cases in our schooling or colleges. But yeah, the easy habits only one thing, only for the exam purpose. So these techniques are for make the learning long last for longer. So not for exam purpose, right? So if you want to pass, so you have to reread and you have to cram, you have to repeat the same problem solving. Those are the only, because you have to get away from that exam. But the end goal is, because whatever the learning we do in the schooling or colleges, that is the real the social learning which we adapt in our day-to-day activities. So there is a lot of difference for exams case and actual learning case. So that's my comments. I Can you repeat the second question?
I mean, it's, we give up, no, right? When we try to recollect, we may fail. So it
Yes.
will give more depression that now we
No,
invested,
no,
I
that
read
the
all the
failing
10
is
lessons.
the, yes. Uh, Retrieval even though you fail, it will help actually. That will help you to find the difference between what you are familiar and what you know actually. Then you have to revisit. What I can say. So for retrieval, so you're talking about actually completely student point of view. I feel
From my point of itself, I read some, I invested some months together, and when we try to, when things approach, we try to recollect. We have less time to finish, and it's nothing is coming out. I mean, it's not able to recollect or bringing out or summarize or anything. So
unless
it's a loop
you
actually. I think we should
re-encounter with
alert.
the same source multiple times, the retaining it won't retain for longer time because our memory always works. When you read it only once and you don't use or recollect, it gets fade away all the time.
Okay. So
So
we
you
have to be
have to
disciplined.
revisit
Yeah.
multiple times and try to recollect before seeing the source is the only way.
Right. So we have to plan and allocate time for that activity, part of the schedule, and do that. I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. Senthil, I would say failures are the pillar of success. You don't have to get depressed. It happens to everybody, even us. So there are certain time where we want to remember something and we do not remember it at all, and it's completely fine. You are not new, you are not unique here. All of us faces this situation, and then when you revisit, you'll remember it for longer. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah. That uncomfortness is there. So to start that retrieving activity, so we have to accept it and move on. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the desirable difficulty will make you more effort on the mind and it will help you to retain longer.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. And let me hand over the stage back to our general evaluator to complete the evaluation segment. Thank you. Over to you, general evaluator Srilata.
Hello, I am back to give the evaluation. But before that, timer Sandeep, can you go ahead and let us know how much time each speaker took today?
Yes. So, dear
Yeah, we can see your
Toastmasters and
screen.
guests, yeah, this is the timing I have been managed to. I've been able to manage to record.
Okay.
The longest session, of course, was expected by because since Malik has been presenting, was this one
Mm-hmm.
when he was presenting the
Can we
slide.
first go ahead with the table topics?
Table topics, okay. So table topics, we had 5 table topic present speakers. Out of that, Srilata, you were just marginally over time. So I have to put it here, no. Senthil, you were also over time. So, and then Ankita and Hanumesh were within time, and Megha, you were also marginally over time.
Okay.
Sandeep, actually 2 minutes 30
I'll take
seconds
it.
is the
I'll
time.
take it, Megha. I'll take it. So, Sandeep, um, I think next meeting onwards, let's share a few resources that are available. I will also try to get a hand of them. So,
Okay.
every time a speaker says, so if 2 minutes is the end of a speech for table topics, every speaker gets 30 seconds buffer. So 2 minute
Okay.
30, if they cross that, then they are disqualified.
Then there's a no. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
for prepared speeches also, if the time is 5 to 7 minutes, if they speak for 7 minutes and if they end between 7 and 7:30, then they're still eligible.
Oh, 30-second is grace basically.
Yes, that is what I also mentioned in the start because you forgot to mention it. So remember, for every speech, there is a 30-second buffer. So only Sendil would be disqualified if we had voting, but since we don't and he's a guest and maybe we
Yeah.
can still give
I
the.
can, I just updated with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want everybody to remember this one thing.
30-second thing.
Can we
Okay.
go ahead with the next timings, please?
Yeah. These are the next timings.
All right. All right.
And
So the
I was
grammarian
saying,
took 11 minutes and 23 seconds.
yeah, she plus others because she was speaking, then again other people speaking,
Okay. Okay.
like the
So
full
her
full
entire
section.
session took so much
Section.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Sandeep, for table topics, did you start timing when the speaker spoke or as soon as the topic was given?
Speaker spoke.
Okay, okay. Then okay, cool. Nothing, just keep the buffer in your
30
mind.
seconds.
And
Yeah.
I also like the fact that you explained the role very clearly. And kudos to you because you timed each speaker. I hope this report, if you send it on the group, this report should help us plan the next meeting accordingly. And you also mark the uh, start of the meeting, which is 2:37. The meeting is still going on, so we will see how long this will take. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster
Yeah.
Sandeep.
Also, I was thinking the meeting is will end at 3:30 because the calendar and the everything said that.
Yes.
So I was a
Yes,
bit,
we,
yeah,
we will
otherwise.
speak about that. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Our counter, can you go ahead with the report, Toastmaster Hanmesh?
Yeah, thank you, Srilata. So here is my counter report. I noted down on paper. So Mallikarjun used filler words around 12 times, Ritvik 4 times, Megha 3 times, Srilata 2 times, Sandeep twice, Senthil around 10 times, and Ankita around 2 times. Yeah.
What was the filler word? Was it was it was it
Yeah, Mallikarjun used two times and around 10 times. Ritvik used two times, two times. Megha, she used two times and one time. Srilata used and each once. Sandeep used twice. Senthil used a word like 3 times and 7 times. And Ankita used two times.
okay? So I have to tell the our counter report is usually very meticulous and very observant because you will have to look at the fillers or when the speaker is speaking, you have to be very careful to observe all these things. So you've done a good job marking it. Uh, Usually we write down the tally each time a speaker says or right, things like this. So I hope you've noted down. And also, so is another filler word that we use, right? So just make note of all of these things. Just put a tally against each member. If that's what you're doing, then good. And I also
Yeah,
observed that you,
that's what I'm doing,
yes.
if you can see.
All right. So I just want to let you know that you did a great job with introduction of what you would be doing as an accounter, and you did a great job. But I just would like to tell you that if you can include a tip as to how they can avoid by referring to various resources that are available, that would also make sure that the speaker can get some confidence as to how they can avoid doing these things, right? So that's the only suggestion I have. Can we move to the grammarian, Toastmaster Mega?
Word of the day scaffold was used by Toastmaster Srilata and Toastmaster Mallikarjun. Thank you very much.
I
And
think
there are some,
also used
I
the
think
word.
Ankita also used, yeah.
yeah, Ankita also. Sorry, I forgot to mention it. Some of the good usages to note today are Toastmaster Mallikarjun used some practice fades, some practice stays. Solve the problem before seeing the answer. Ankita used the sentence, we need to use the resources wisely. And some incorrect formation of sentences, as noted from the corporate syntax books, that is, making the sentence and at the end using the word right and adding the question. So this was made by Senthil and Mallikarjun. So let's try to recorrect it from the next time. So this is the report which I have made today. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Mega. First of all, I really like the fact that you pointed out the errors first only, and then pointed it out and also told the right usages because those are the most common mistakes that we make often and we don't even realize, or even if we realize, we don't have the patience to go ahead and correct it. So I'm glad you brought that to our notice. And since there were no speakers today, it's okay that you took up that much time. And after your entire address, I like the fact that you reminded the word of the day and then ended your um, segment or your explanation, right? Because we spoke so much that there is a chance that people could have forgotten the word of the day. And I was being observant that if you would say it or not, but you did. So kudos to you on that. And also, I would have liked for you to have just told two things. Say the first two examples, because we have less people, the chance of us repeating the roles will also come more often, right? So instead of telling everything in the same meeting and taking up those 11 and a half minutes, I would have wished for you to just introduce us to two things and then maybe another two things the next meeting, so that we would have something to look forward from you as Nega. Because last week only you set up the bar high by doing something new. So all I'm trying to tell is don't try to fit everything into the same meeting. Use something for the next meeting as well, so that we can save time and we can also look forward to something, and you wouldn't have the pressure, because once you build, you'll have to keep up, right? So next meeting you would have something, even if you are not able to prepare with all the other responsibilities going on, you would be able to keep the content ready for the next time you take up the same role. That is something that I have. Now coming to the meeting, we started the meeting at 2:37. We usually start 10 minutes late, so I think we can consider this to be a little bit of progress. I also like the fact that how Mallikarjun as SA introduced us to the meeting, started off, and he mentioned the phrase that said illusion of competence. I really liked that phrase. Thank you so much. And he introduced us to this book called Make It Stick. So he was very careful in articulating how an essay should go about without mixing too much of his theme into essay's address. I really loved the activity that he did in the starting with regards to making us tell the rules of the meeting. And his introduction to the presiding officer was also very good, because usually people don't take that seriously because they keep doing it every meeting. But somehow I keep observing every meeting he tries to introduce the PO in a much better way. So kudos to you as an essay on that, Mallikarjun. Great job done. Now moving on to our presiding officer, Ritvik. I also really like the fact that he started off with the stats. So whatever energy was started off by Mallikarjun, he carried that energy into the meeting and he had prepared for it. Because when he asked about those stats, I didn't know, right? I just had read it somewhere sometime, but I had forgotten. But he got us all back to it by reminding. And it was a very precise address. He was smart by asking Ankita to, you know, be part of us instead of asking her to introduce. I'm sure she would also be bored of introducing her to the six of us or the seven of us every meeting. So instead, he chose the other two. So that is how we play smart, by trying to save time and also trying to save that gap with our guests. Like the moment you make feel like us, they will also feel like, oh yeah, they remember, right? Instead of asking them to introduce each meeting. So that is something that I really liked. Now coming to our TMOD, very good selection of the theme, plus points for making a PPT, very good explanation. Mallikarjun, I wish you spoke this as a speech, because in level 4 there are so many projects. If you really want to give a speech about this, I would like to get you a slot in an external club, and I think you should consider giving this as a speech, because you already have a PPT ready, you have your content ready, you can go ahead and revise it and give this as a speech. You will definitely improve your confidence even more, and you will also have that experience of networking and going out and giving a speech outside IBC. And I think you should think about it. Also, like the fact that um, it was very clearly and simply broken down to all of us. And the fact that the guests were able to get back to you with questions. Also, Ankita told something in the start and she reiterated whatever you said. And she was able to answer a question for the guest for you, right? So that means you were successful today in introducing the theme and also making sure that this started or this settled in our head. So great job. I really loved the entire theme and the way it was woven together. So you did scaffold the meeting into a great shape, I would say. Kudos to you.
This is my first team mod in my Toastmasters.
Really
I think
impressive.
it's
Really
better
impressive.
late than never. So kudos to you. I did not know that. Then you did a very great job. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, can we have a huge round of applause? Okay, proceed. Toastmaster Ritvik for the TTM. I love the fact that he chose topics that are theme centric, very simple, very good topics. It wasn't complicated where we had to sit and think as to what I would speak. Right now, having topics like this from time to time will also make us feel like we're able to speak because that's the confidence it'll give because it's not easy to speak impromptu. And it was also reiterated after each topic as to what each person spoke. So he did not just leave it by saying thank you, he also reiterated and he made sure the guests also got the chance to speak. The one thing that I would suggest is for anybody who would take TTM is let's have a minimum of 4 or 5 topics because that's the chance that we would like to give our members, 4 or 5 members or guests who would like to speak. Beyond that, if we see that we are going way beyond time, let's just stop it instead of asking for the timer for the suggestion because I've been seeing this is the pattern that we've been following. I think if we can assess the time ourselves after 4 topics, if we can just have a look at the time and then judge, then it would be best if we, so that it feels like we are all in check of time. And coming to the general things that I observed, that one, yes, definitely the timing. If we say in the agenda or in the poster that we have a 1 hour meeting and if we extend by another 30, 40 minutes, it doesn't look good. We understand as members, but as guests, I don't think it would sit well with them. So if we are going to say have a 1.5 hour meeting, let's be in cognizance of that. I would say we all
Be one and
join meeting 2, 3 minutes prior, probably even 5, and then it's okay if we extend the meeting sometimes by 5 minutes, but going ahead by 40, 45 minutes doesn't really give a good image or doesn't give a good message to people joining as well. So let's just keep it to 1.5 hour. If we end it early, good, well and good. But let's just try to stick to the timing. And another thing is I've been observing a lot of people say Sandeep, who's been doing timer, is often taking timer or Mega consecutively taking. So I would rather say because we are less people, we will end up getting that role inevitably sooner, right? We don't have to wait for all 10 members to do the timer and then get back to it. So I would say don't take the same role, take different roles. Even if you're not confident as a grammarian or a T-mod or a TTM, just do it. Or even as a G, just do it so that you know what it takes to fit into those shoes and you can be better. Because it's not like we did not take those roles and we came this far. We all did, and we all made our fair shares of mistakes. So I would suggest instead of repeating and taking the same roles, we would rather take different ones and try to grow. That is one thing. And yeah, I think I pretty much covered most of what I wanted to say. Um, yeah, timing is a huge issue. I would want Sandeep to send that report so that we can have a discussion and see where we can cut down on uh, and make it fit in right. That's it. Thank you, and back to the team mod.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srilata, for wonderful evaluation. And I think you evaluate, yeah, you have given feedback for almost every speaker, for every role. It's a good. Okay, now to officially end the meeting, let me hand the control back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ritik.
Thank you, Mallikarjun, and special thanks to Srilata for a wonderful general evaluation. Amazingly, you have covered everything. I believe nothing is left. You have covered each and every role takers, and obviously the time taken by us together. Okay, so since we are short on time, we are actually over the time. So I'll quickly end this today's meeting. There are a few pointers to talk about. First is the icebreaker speech. So I think we already have a short discussion with Sandeep if he is willing to deliver it the first week of September. And Hanumesh, for you also, please get ready with your icebreaker speech.
Anybody who wants to be mentored, please reach out to us. We're always available. We'll be happy to help you mentor your speeches.
Sure, I will reach out.
Yeah.
And secondly, to Ankita, thanks for joining us back today again. Regarding the membership, I'll catch up with you. And yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be in touch with you with this. And thirdly, the linkers meet. So it's been a while since we had a linkers meet. So this month, the coming month in September, we'll plan for one linkers meet. I'll get in touch with the area director as if which club we can actually have this linkers meet with. So these are the 3 points to be discussed. And I hope you all enjoyed today's session. And as the PO for today, I'll declare this meeting number 683 of IBCT as adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a
Ritvik,
nice day.
can I get a slot on September 2nd week for speaker?
September 2nd week. Sure, Shilata.
Yeah,
Think
it's okay when it's a linkers meet. I'll take up the speaking slot.
okay. And Sandeep, can you take for the first week of September? You
Yes,
ready?
yes. Second, I think second or third is the
Hmm.
Thursday, right? The name.
Third.
Yes.
Second.
Shilata,
Please.
can you help Sandeep if he needs any help with respect to icebreaker speak?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
I
Let him
will
reach
talk.
out
I
to
will.
me.
I will reach out to
I can
him.
Yeah.
help him. Yeah.
Because she is very experienced. She has given n number of speeches. She can
Sure,
help you.
sure.
We are
Okay.
600 meetings together, so we're all experienced. It's okay.
Okay.
One question. So, this Excel sheet, where should I send in the Slack group? The
Yeah,
Slack
you can either take a screenshot or you can
and
just,
WhatsApp group. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
everyone for
Bye.
joining and
Thank
have
you
a
guys.
nice day. Have a nice
Nice,
weekend ahead.
nice session. Thank you so much. Yeah, enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank